Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast presented by FanDuel. It's Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Taz Mellis.
Basketball drama lovers. This one's for you.
Next to him, it's my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Heyo.
Ayo. Over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is.
Hey, JD.
And the boys are running fives today because our special guest is co-host of the Numbers on the Board podcast airing on NBC and Peacock. He's the host of his own spin-off podcast, Teed Up. First time here on No Dunks, it's Pierre, Pee-wee the Plug, Andresen. What's up, Pierre?
How y'all feeling, man? First of all, thank y'all for having me. We've been watching you guys, and I say we as a podcast, we've been watching you guys from afar for a long time. I remember when we first started our podcast, Kenny put all of us onto you guys. So to be here is kind of a surreal moment. So I appreciate you guys having me on today.
Well, this is a lot of fun. I know the chat, the live stream, the stream team, as we call them, they're pumped for this collab. We've had Kenny on. Now we got you. We'll make our way to D Mills and Mike in the future here. But I know you just basically rolled out of bed. Mm-hmm. And you said before you fell asleep, you did see the Chris Paul news. So you've got some takes on this because this is wild. I'll set it up for everyone. Stunning overnight move. The Clippers announced that Chris Paul is no longer with the team. Like what?
See ya.
Yeah, so CP3 signified at about 2:40 a.m. Eastern time that the Clippers were letting him go, posting on his Instagram stories account. Just found out I'm being sent home with a peace emoji. And then reports say it wasn't Chris Paul's decision. And then we heard from Lawrence Frank. He had a big statement on them parting ways. So, Pierre, like, were you as baffled as the rest of us here with what went down last night and Chris Paul being sent home?
Yeah, I was extremely bad. First of all, I've been baffled with the Los Angeles Clippers like the entire season. But the Chris Paul move was very, very weird. I'm still like fiending for more information before I like start to speculate, which I have no problem doing, by the way. But 5-16 start. I'm a guy that I will admit I thought this team was a legitimate playoff team, and when I say legitimate, I mean like no play-in, like one of the top 6 seeds in the conference. So to see this start with so much veteran presence, you know, and to watch how they're losing and why they're losing and a lack of communication, just a lack of overall effort from, again, an older group was disappointing. And to see them make a move like this is almost a little bit more disappointing because Chris Paul really joined the team to kind of ease into retirement. He hasn't been really much of a factor. He doesn't play that much. So for them to kind of single him out, and then the Lawrence Frank statement was like, oh, this is not saying that Chris Paul is the reason for our disappointment. It's just confusing. And I think the NBA at this point, with so much technology, with all of us in the media now speaking on it, we can no longer have things like this happen and it be so vague, in my opinion. And I think fan bases deserve more as well when you have a 5-16 start and you're just making these random in the middle of the night moves with such vague statements is kind of frustrating as well. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure in the next 5 hours we'll get some more information, but definitely head scratching before I lay my eyes down and go to bed.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Like, the story's going to come out, whatever happened. Who knows? I mean, Chris Paul can be a prickly personality for sure, and he's probably one of the guys who's most upset with the way the Clippers season has gone. But the Lawrence Frank thing was weird about it because I personally hadn't even considered that Chris Paul not playing well this season had anything to do with the Clippers' performance. They probably weren't expecting a lot out of him.
No.
But once he said it, I was like, wait a second, are you blaming Chris Paul for this? There's no way it's his fault. He was like going to be your third string point guard. A lot of other things have gone poorly, but it is disappointing just to see, you know, what, maybe Chris Paul's the second best, first best Clipper ever, him and Blake Griffin, and both of their tenures with LA have ended really poorly on bad terms. And it doesn't seem like they will have fond feelings about their time there. This was supposed to be a celebration for Chris Paul. You know, he was going to sort of ring chase where he really made his name. And now it's just a weird ending.
It's very weird. There's got to be more to this story. There has to be, Tess.
But it's so puzzling. I can't decide if Chris Paul wanted out and demanded him to be released.
The reporting says that's not the case.
Yeah, there's definitely a story to back why the Clippers would want him out. Or maybe they came to a mutual agreement. Because I can see it from Chris Paul's side. We're not winning. This is my last season. I want to go somewhere I can win. I'm not playing a lot. I'm not playing in fourth quarters. I'm having lots of disagreements with many things, many players, many coaches, as we've seen before in Chris Paul's career, a center perhaps, a James Harden perhaps, a Ty Lue perhaps, or was it the front office saying, hey, we don't need any of this friction. We need some reason to get better right here, right now. So you're out of here. That being said, it's so weird.
At 2:40 in the morning.
Yeah, that's why I got the feeling that it could have been Chris Paul, because he was the first one to say it on social media before that release came out 20 minutes later, which was horrendous. A sort of text at 3 a.m. Like, they couldn't wait till the morning for a PR person to put together a real email. That is strange. And as P was saying at the beginning, with everything we got in basketball, we expect more than that. Yeah. That was a very it was on the left of the release. Like, did you see? It wasn't even centered. I mean, like the actual text, it was so strange.
Well, it's Lawrence Frank panicking, I assume, at like
I gotta get this
3 in the morning. Do you want to see Pierre, like Chris Paul, I don't know, make his way to another team here? Because again, this is a guy that was riding the pine for a very bad team, like you said, but it was his farewell tour. Like, people in Atlanta here may have been going down to the Fortress tonight, potentially to see Chris Paul play his final game in Atlanta. I mean, I know they go to Memphis soon, and maybe obviously we'll have some more games there. That's not happening now.
And we're a few hours away from Charlotte, from his home.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. So that's cut off. Do you think he goes to another team, though, here in his final year?
That's such a great question. I hope so, because again, like you mentioned, this was supposed to be kind of like the ring chase, and he wanted to play the season out. And this was a big commitment for him. He talked a lot about it in the offseason, whether he was going to go through with it. He wanted to be around his family. It was a hard decision, you know, to see the kids get older and not necessarily be there.
Yeah.
And this was supposed to reunite with the Clippers. So I honestly don't know. I would love to see him maybe go somewhere, but at the same time, he's not playing. And again, just me speculating, I believe Chris Paul was probably in the locker room or in practices trying to hold guys accountable. But it's also Chris Paul who is not playing. And some of the guys are probably like, who is he to say anything when you don't even play?
Yeah.
And this probably was an ego thing. So I don't know if you can go through that and want to go to another team, because if we're being honest, there's no team where Chris Paul is magically playing 30 minutes a night.
No.
And so because of that, does Chris Paul want to go through this again? I wouldn't mind if Chris Paul was like petty and went to the Lakers. You know what I mean? And was just like, okay, I'll go right across the street. So I want to see him kind of finish out what he started. I know, like you talked about people going to these last games for him.
Yeah.
I believe Kenny was thinking about like going to a Bulls Clippers game.
Yeah.
For Chris. So like, yeah, this is something that fans deserve. Chris Paul is an Hall of Famer. He's given a lot to the game. He should be able to go out on a better behalf than like a 3 o'clock in the morning release.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.
We'll learn more, I assume, like you said, Pierre, in the next couple hours. I would hope we would. From either the Clippers side of things, from Chris Paul and his team. I guess parting ways, being sent home, means one of 3 things, too. Waiving his $3.6 million guaranteed contract, just eating the salary. Working on some sort of trade. You could be sent home and then work on a trade come December 15th. Or a buyout of some sort. So we'll leave that right now as it is. Chris Paul being sent home on a road trip during his farewell tour by the Clippers. Wild stuff. Okay, let's get into some other things, Pierre. We're a quarter of the way through the NBA season. Let's start with this one for you. Who do you think's been the biggest breakout player for you through the first, 20, 22 games?
Okay, so I'm biased, by the way. I would not lie. I'm extremely biased. I love people who love me and show me love. So my answer is Jaylen Johnson of y'all Atlanta Hawks.
Yep.
That's my guy. And I've been a Jaylen Johnson fan for a long time. And to see him kind of emerge in a time where the Hawks were struggling, the Trae Young injury was at a very bad time for them because they were trying to figure things out. And then for them to collectively make this huge jump and for him to be the driving force, he's looking like a first-time All-Star, potentially All-NBA if he can keep this level of play up. And I just think it sets the Atlanta Hawks up in a different trajectory than we projected. And that's with or without Trae Young. And for them to also own the Pelicans pick, this Atlanta Hawks team becomes a lot more interesting, than what they looked like at the beginning of the year. So Jalen Johnson, and I also got to give a love to another Jalen Duren with the Pistons. He's been a monster, and what they've done to start the year has been super impressive, especially considering how they looked 2 years ago. So those would be my two guys, but definitely biased towards my guy Jalen Johnson out there in Atlanta.
Are those those two guys that you would have on an all-star team here? I know you just did a video on that, picking your squad. We obviously have this weird international Americans thing, so that would be two Jalen's that are American on your team here. They're there for you?
Yeah, two Jalen's, two first-time all-stars. And at this point, I actually think those guys are borderline locks, if I'm being honest. Like, they're playing that good.
What do you think the Hawks should do with the Trae Young situation? Because at the very least, they're not worse with Trae missing, right? They're at least as good, and the way Jalen is playing, he looks like the featured star on this team. They've got this Pelicans pick in the future. They got other contracts that could be included in a trade, like Porzingis, who's been in and out of the lineup, hasn't been a huge part of this little stretch that they've been playing with. What do you think is the move for Atlanta here, dealing with Trae Young going forward?
I think, number one, they kind of have it in a perfect position where, because you're thriving without him, this is like almost a death sentence for stars, for the team to thrive without them, especially when the last time we saw the star with the team, they didn't look this good. So you have a situation where you can try to bring him back and see if he's going to commit to the way that you guys want to play, or whatever you guys want him to do, defensively compete. This is a time for him to kind of join and get on accord with whatever the team wants. If you can bring him back and implement him with this new sort of setup with Jalen Johnson being featured, then, you continue to thrive, and you're better with Trae Young committed to the brand of basketball you wanted to play. If he can't get on board, or he doesn't want to, then you now, like you said, have a situation where you can make Trae Young available, and you'll get back something in return that allows you to, get better, at least marginally. I don't know. I like Trae Young. I'm not ready to write him extremely off. I know he has some guys that aren't the biggest fans, and he also has some diehards. I'm always for trying to figure it out before trading, especially when you think about the point guard position. Trae Young is not a player. Trae Young, Ja Morant, LaMelo, all of these guys aren't guys that I can quickly think of teams that would be wanting to, bring them in, and especially in the middle of a season. So you might not even have that big of a market during the season. So you might have to wait till the off season. In that case, you kind of got to ride this thing out. But I think, again, they're set up in so many different ways to win. And I feel good and happy for Atlanta, because they're kind of playing with house's money. To be able to have that Pelicans pick sets them up so differently. Like, I'm excited for Atlanta's future.
Yeah, not only to have that pick, but like you said, for Jalen Johnson to look like a cornerstone, for Nickeil Alexander-Walker to be balling out for them right now, Shai, in theory, only getting better with his age. So yeah, there's some pieces there, whether Trae's a part of that or not. And they're set up a lot better than maybe they were those couple years where there was like just a treadmill of mediocrity, and they were right there, sort of. Unfortunately, like your Chicago Bulls, always in a play-in situation.
What do the Bulls have to do with anything?
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I did that.
Geez.
We're talking to Pierre, thinking of Kenny and this Bulls love, all that stuff. What do you got?
Yeah, it was such a weird off season for the Atlanta Hawks, because all of a sudden they got a front office just to boost them up.
That's true.
That we didn't see that happening. The last time we were sitting in, I guess it was like row 6. We were close to Travis Schlenk, who was leading the Hawks front office then, and he gets let go. Ansei Saleh starts this new trend. As you mentioned, Nickeil Alexander-Walker's contract is really, really interesting, because they signed him to a very, very inexpensive deal. I don't know how you feel about him being what could be the starting guard for this team for several years if they decide, we'll move on from Trae. He was a backup guard, obviously in Minnesota last year. That's how it worked. He started his career with New Orleans. Oh, he's going to be this guy with Zion Williamson. He's going to be awesome. He was not in that particular role, but now he's balling. I know Jalen Johnson gets a lot of the love. It's a highlight league, apparently. That's what Adam Silver says. That man is making highlights. But Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he's the guy who's averaging 20 points on great percentages. Do you think he could be the starting guard for Atlanta, or am I being biased here in Atlanta?
Well, I mean, the results say he can be. Funny thing, I'm super high on Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and I'm always going to be tied to him. Early in our show, when Shai was younger. I think Shai may have gotten to the league a year before Nickeil. There's an infamous moment on our podcast where I'm telling the guys about this Nickeil guy and that he's the better Alexander. So fast forward now, all of our fans remind me of how ridiculous that looks in 2025. So I'm happy to see Nickeil thrive. I asked the guys yesterday on our show, and I'll ask you guys, has he leapfrogged and become like the face of MIP? Is he the front runner for that award? Or
Ooh, I still would go with the guy you already mentioned in Jaylen Duren, who I think when I watch him play compared to last year, I'm like, holy, he is really leveled up. But there's a lot of guys. Avdia's got to be in the mix.
Yes.
With where he is. Nickeil, like you said, because the scoring numbers for Nickeil Alexander-Walker have like doubled, more than doubled.
Somehow got more efficient too.
And more efficient. Yeah.
He's playing great.
That's probably, that right now is like probably one of the tighter like award races here through the quarter mark of the season, because I think you can make a case for 4 or 5 guys. Who would you have, TK?
Well, unfortunately, not Matas Buzelis.
No.
That was one of my preseason picks, but I would probably go with Duren just because he's become the number 2 guy for the Pistons, and you can see the improvements with him. Like, he can handle the ball. When he scores, or when he gets the ball in the restricted area, it's a bucket. It feels like he can get points anytime and knows how he's going to be getting points. He feels like an anchor piece for the Pistons right now, but you can't discredit the way Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a little bit later into his career, has really seized the opportunity and looks like a clutch scorer as well. I mean, maybe Converse could be a most improved brand.
Oh, wow.
He signed a deal with Converse. Shai obviously is the defending MVP. I know Jamal Crawford was dunking on his shoes last night, but at least they've got the cousinship to try and lift Converse from the depths of the Kirk Heinrich era.
That's the cousinship. I like that. Look, you already talked, Pierre, about how you were dead wrong when it came to the Clippers, right? And you're not alone in that. There are a lot of people who were convinced, like, hey, look at all the vets in here. Look what they added. Looks like it could be a good team. So look, that one, you're wrong about. A lot of us are wrong about. What about a player or team that you were right about? Like, take a little victory lap right now in the preseason. You called your shot on said player or said team.
Well, again, I'm gonna go with my guy Jalen Johnson.
Okay.
I did like a video or an episode on Teed Up where I talked about like guys I'm buying stock in. Jalen Johnson was one of them. Maybe Nickeil was one of those guys as well. I was a big fan of the Spurs. I felt like the Spurs were really set to do something special. Now, obviously, it's hard to kind of tell because Wemby has kind of been out.
But they're winning.
6 and 2 without him.
Off. That's
literally
impressive.
6 and 2 without that guy.
But with them, they felt like with them, I felt they could be a player out west. And so, you know, I mean, it's nothing wrong with thriving without him, but I can't lie. If I'm just being like extremely honest with you guys, I hate seeing tall players with the injuries. Like it scares me. And so anytime I see anything with Vic, I think further than just the season. So I'm hoping that he's going to be okay and we don't, you know, have to have another guy that is missing too much time. Because now I just saw yesterday on the way from work, Zion is going to be out for another 3 weeks. And
No way.
right, you know. But yeah, the Boston Celtics I also predicted would not have that big of a fall off like the Pacers. And they've been kind of thriving. They beat my Knicks last night. So yeah, like some of those picks I guess are good. It's so much basketball left though that I'm holding on to some of my other ones before I victory lap too soon. And it's you know that's a bit of an issue because I was always the modest Buzelis hype train. I'm sure y'all saw with the MVP potential. I would jumped off the ledge with another guy that I'm biased to. Right, that's my little guy. So I kind of went overboard. But yeah, we're gonna preserve some of the victory lapping. But the Knicks have been looking real good. Could be looking better, but we're looking good without OG. Oh. The Raptors. I was big on the Raptors.
There we go. Well, we're going to have a huge NBA Cup game with the Knicks coming up to Toronto next week to see who can advance to Vegas.
We got the Knicks. No worries.
Oh, well, you should be worrying, my friend. The Raptors team's good.
OG might be back.
Yeah, could be. Let's talk a little bit about your Knicks. I guess the first question is, why are you a Knicks fan living in Chicago? How did that come about?
So, like most people, I grew up thinking I was going to the NBA, and I kind of premeditated my career where I wasn't going to play in Chicago because I grew up in Chicago and I understand how important Jordan is here.
Right.
Kobe Bryant is my favorite player of all time, along with Penny Hardaway. So I knew I couldn't play for the Lakers. So the next best thing was the Knicks.
Okay.
And that just started my fandom. I just got obsessed with the Knicks. I would create myself on college hoops 2K, and I would like transfer them over to the NBA 2K, and I would always get drafted to the Knicks and like take them to the promised land. And just as I did that for years and years and years, it kind of grew into loving the Knicks and loving watching them on like WGN against the Bulls and just like seeing Madison Square Garden. And yeah, and then they also sucked. So it wasn't like I was jumping on a bandwagon, you know what I mean? So I was like, I just inherited the Knicks, and then they got good. And they had like some of my favorite players growing up, which was Carmelo, J.R. Smith, Tyson Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it just became super easy to just stay with the Knicks.
That is the greatest answer to why do you cheer for this team? It's because I envisioned myself leading them to a championship. That is why we love you, man. That's an incredible answer. Okay.
I don't know. I'm a little disappointed to hear it. I feel like the Bulls have had a hard time getting free agents since MJ retired because nobody wants to carry the mantle for him. And now that I'm hearing even Pierre doesn't want to carry the MJ mantle, but understandable. It might have worked out for you. Even though neither team has been good for 25 years, the Knicks are far ahead of where the Bulls are right now.
Yeah, that's no doubt.
Thankfully.
Do you see the Knicks having to make any moves around this deadline to help their chances in a wide open East? Like, look, it's there for the taking this season for sure.
Around a deadline, I mean, I guess there's always an opportunity, like you said, to get somewhat better. If I'm being honest, I'm watching Milwaukee, who impressed me to start the year, but now they've lost a bunch, and now they're 9-13, and the whole Giannis social media thing yesterday was a big storyline. Mm-hmm. I'm we're just like riding this thing out. Hopefully, we can do something special, and trying to get 34 from Milwaukee. He wants to win, and being a guy with such a big fan base and a big market playing on a small market team. Who wouldn't want to come to New York? This guy's Huggies commercial I just saw the other day with his daughter. So, if you want to win and you want to be in a big market, he's a Nike athlete, come to New York. There's nothing going on in LA. Luka already has that with LeBron. And now the next best thing is New York. So, yeah, I'm kind of with seeing what we have with this team. We haven't had OG in the last 8 or so games. Mm-hmm. So he's a big piece in assessing what we have. And then if this isn't enough, I think you gotta go for Giannis, man. So let's stay away from the deadline unless it's something like, I don't know, get a Luke Kennard, which the Hawks wouldn't do, but like a sharpshooter or something like that, right. low cost and sharpshooter, but nothing major because we gotta keep everything for Giannis.
Giannis has hinted at playing in bigger markets. There's no doubt, but it would take till the offseason, I think. I know the man's a loyal man, and he said he's not doing it until the offseason. Then it could be different. Mm-hmm. But it could be. It could be 34 going to New York. That would be.
I'm with you on the offseason stuff, by the way. I think with all of the cap and, the aprons, guys like Giannis, it's just going to be impossible to trade them mid-season. So I'm with you with the offseason.
Let's pivot to the big move you guys made this offseason, and that is joining NBC, joining Peacock. What's that experience been like for you and the guys with all of the shows you're doing for them?
It's honestly been great. I'm loving it. I'm having such a fun time, working so much. We used to do 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays. Now with the move, it's a Monday through Friday thing. Now we have so many different shows that all of the episodes aren't numbers on a board related. So you have like Small Ball, which is Kenny on Monday. You have our show Tuesday. You have my show today. And then we round out the week with numbers on a board Thursday and Friday. And then we get to keep our original YouTube show for our loyal, dedicated fan base on Tuesdays and Saturdays. They get extended versions of us. And so, to just be able to be in the office more, being on TV on a consistent basis, it just kind of it immerses you into the league a little bit more. You have to stay kind of on your toes a bit on an everyday basis versus just preparing for Tuesday and Saturday shows. So I love the looking at every night as a Super Bowl. Like, it's so easy to get lost in the NBA season, and you have these dead marks where it's just so easy to not care. But now with the added bonus days of the schedule, I just take every night for what it is and try to make the most of it. So like the Chris Paul news is going to be a topic tomorrow.
Yep.
And you gotta care. Like, I don't know if last year, because it's on a Tuesday night, that's like 3 days in between an episode for us. I don't know if I would have cared as much. So I'm loving the move. They've been extremely great to work with so far. And I don't know, the energy is just different. You turn on the Peacock games and you're seeing all of the faces. And last night Michael Jordan was
he was back.
Was back, and I guess we can call him a coworker. So it's been smooth, man. It's been smooth. I'm enjoying it.
Have you had any surreal, like, pinch me moments with somebody reaching out saying, "Hey, I saw you guys were great on TV," or something like that?
As far as NBC, not yet. The one surreal moment I will say, who was it? I don't want to say the wrong because we're in Chicago. The Sun-Times or the Tribune came in and took pictures of us and was like, that was kind of, because I get the Sun-Times delivered to my doorstep every morning. So it's like to see them come in and want to like take pictures of us and talk with us was a bit surreal. And then Kenny, he did like a commercial thing when he went out there, and it had like Carmelo and T-Mac, just all of these guys we grew up on. That was surreal. But I'm sure those moments will come probably around All-Star or whatever, rubbing some shoulders with some of those guys. But just being on NBC is surreal. Oh, yeah. Like my parents, we've been with so many companies, we work with so many people. The NBC move is like the thing that got my parents.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? They were like,
this is real. You actually get paid to do this. Okay, very cool, very cool.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Look,
man, I'm impressed. You're a new media superstar, but you still subscribe to a physical newspaper? That's old school.
Yes, that's me. I'm like, you see the books behind me. I need like old school stuff. I get the newspaper. That's how I keep up with the Bears, because I'm, not the biggest football guy. Keep up with the White Sox that way. It's just something about having a newspaper. I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely old school in that way.
Hey, man, big Bears game this weekend. Huge Bears game this weekend. They're looking good so far. Are we getting a W up in Lambeau?
Yes.
That's what I like to hear.
W in Lambeau. I think it's going to be an easy W. We're just rolling right now. And I know I'm getting crazy. And I was the one on our show telling my guys, let's calm down. Let's see where the ride takes us. But now I'm getting excited. Now I'm getting eager. One of the things about the Bears, though, the interceptions, the takeaways. I grew up on a stingy Bears gritty defense. I don't know if this defense is necessarily the Bears defense I grew up on, but I just love a Bears defense that is able to cause turnovers. So I'm hoping that we can do that and replicate some of that energy this weekend. But yes, the Bears are thriving. The city loves it. And hopefully they can surprise some people in the playoffs.
I love the positivity. You actually got me a little depressed because the AJC, the newspaper here, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, stopped printing newspapers. Maybe that's why Chris Paul said, I'm leaving. He was depressed yesterday, maybe in his hotel room. He didn't get a newspaper. He didn't get a newspaper delivery. He said, I'm pissed. I'm out of here.
Before we get to a fun little game here with you, Pierre, we get asked this question all the time, so I want to ask you, because you got your squad there with the numbers on the board crew. Who's the best hooper of the four of you?
I'm going to be honest. I hate this question.
Why?
Because it's me. And like, in my mind, because I know all of them, it's not even a question. Right. But obviously, to you guys and the rest of the world, you guys have no idea. But yeah, like, this has been a thing in our community for years. Mm-hmm. We've done countless videos. I've spanked a lot of them in almost 98% of the videos. And yet every year there's a new group of viewership that hasn't seen it or doesn't know. And I'm like, these other three guys haven't even played varsity basketball.
Right.
To me, there's not even a conversation. And then we most recently, like last season, Kenny had the nerve to say, hey, I think D Mills would be the best if we locked in. And I'm like, if we locked in, I would be backing up Cade Cunningham on a Pistons. Like, what are we talking about? But yeah, it's by far myself, and I don't like to say it in a way where because like everybody would pick themselves, but they know, I know. I'm a Knicks fan because I thought I was going to be the Knicks starting shooting guard.
That's true. I guess the better way to ask it is who's the second best player on numbers on the board?
Second best player is definitely Mike.
Okay.
It's definitely Mike.
Okay. Yeah.
It's definitely Mike. Mike can shoot the ball. It should be D Mills. D Mills has motor issues. Yeah, you know. He has motor issues. So D Mills is a guy that he's gonna throw fits and spurts. He has a 50-second spurt.
Right.
The first 50 seconds of a game, he's going to be Shaquille O'Neal.
Right.
With the Los Angeles Lakers, and then the rest of the game, you're going to get Celtics Shaq. So, you know. You got to work on that, but Mike has him, and then Kenny is the shoulder thing that's limited him for the last few years. But he was our defensive specialist. Together, we make a really good team.
Okay, I was going to say, are you still hooping? Like, do you play in a run, like a weekly run or a pickup run?
No,
at the very least? No.
We don't play nearly as much as we used to, as much as we want to. We talked about it the other day, actually, about a week or so ago, and Kenny and Derek were talking about injuries. Like they don't want to play because they're scared that they will get hurt. And me and Mike were kind of baffled with that, but I guess they're retired, which was a surprise to me. They are retired, but we still hoop. Like the Bulls had us come and hoop on their court. We'll do like a shoot for the YouTube channel, whatnot, but nothing crazy. Not like we used to. We used to hoop like after episodes. We'd all get in the car, go to the gym, and play random people, but those days are kind of gone.
Well, if you guys ever want to come to Atlanta, we'll smack you for sure.
Hey, one thing about basketball is like riding a bike. I'll never forget.
There we go.
And it's my game is ready. You know, I'm like
you're gonna have to carry your team. It sounds like.
I'm like Shai. It's no problem. My mid-range game is crazy. I'm not doing anything beyond the arc because my legs ain't ready to handle that responsibility. But you give me the ball in the elbows, and we're going to do some damage. So,
those are like your favorite type of players, right? Growing up, like you already said, the Kobe's, I guess, Melo in the mid range, just the bucket getters. Yeah,
I love bucket getters because I didn't play that way. My first player that I really loved was Penny Hardaway, Kobe and Penny Hardaway. So I love tall point guards, Cade Cunninghams of the world. So I play more of that way, getting guys involved. But I do secretly love like a guy that just doesn't care about being double teamed, because I could never play that way.
Right.
It's just not in me to like just shoot over three guys. And so when I watch Kobe do it or Melo do it, I'm like, man, I wish I had that type of ignorance to just like not care about my teammates. But you know, I've been a little too unselfish. The guys used to tell me in my heyday. So yeah, I do have a love for ignorant scores.
That's why we're all talking about basketball instead of playing NBA basketball.
Yes,
facts.
Exactly.
There's definitely levels to it.
Next best thing.
Another thing that's like riding a bike for you, P, is naming colleges that NBA players played at. We're pretty bad at this. We only know the NBA guys, and then we like look at their basketball reference pages once they get into the NBA. Not the case for you. You're a college guy as well.
Yeah, but I will say this, though. Every time somebody says this, my heart drops because the pressure to live up to it is, and then a lot of times the fans will like run up to me and ask me in like summer league, and it'll be the most randomest player. And I'm like, brother, I have no idea where, I can't even think of a guy, but like it'll just be somebody from 1967. Like, bro, I have no idea what college this guy went to. So hopefully these are some gettable names, and I don't make a fool.
Well, these
of
are all
myself.
current players.
Current players.
Okay.
Not
assume that helps.
1967.
No.
Okay.
The Pierre Andresen of the NBA currently backing up Cade Cunningham for the Detroit Pistons. Dennis Jenkins, you know where you went to school?
That's so tough, man.
It's impossible. I mean, you went to 3 different places. We'll accept any of them.
Yeah.
Iona, then to St. John's with Patino.
Come on, man.
You got 2 of the 3. I guess he was at the University of the Pacific, but then you nailed it. Wow. Okay.
I would have accepted just any one of the 3. That's pretty impressive. It took you all of 3 seconds to come up with. How about Naquan Tomlin?
He went to Kansas State and Memphis. I don't know the third one.
Come on, man.
This is good. This is impressive.
I don't know the
I
third
thought
one.
there was
Yeah.
no
I think
way
there's
you
a
were
third
getting these, man.
Yeah.
Well, he had 4, right? That's a weird
Yeah.
thing. But you got
Monroe Community College, Chippewa College. Where the hell is that?
Who knows?
And then Kansas State and Memphis. That's all that matters. You got the big ones. All right.
I think he's got a crazy story, right? Naquan Tomlin, like he didn't play high school basketball or something like that. Got
Really?
discovered at Rucker Park, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That sounds like a story from 1967. Made it to the NBA like that.
that could be a numbers on the board guy. Never didn't play high school, didn't play varsity, but you know, maybe,
you got
maybe they
me.
made it.
You got me.
How about Mo Gay, Atlanta Hawks Mo Gay?
Oh, Washington State.
Oh, man.
Too easy.
This is ridiculous to me.
This guy's like, hey, this might be hard for me. Hasn't missed one yet. Tumani Kamara.
Dayton.
All right. I just saw him play his first minutes for the Chicago Bulls like a week ago. Lachlan Ulbrich, their rookie.
No way.
I don't got it.
Oh, okay,
Not
good.
even
He's
close.
human.
Not even.
He's human.
We did it!
You got me. You got me. What is
University
it?
of California, Riverside. Never even heard of it. It's a big state, though.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I guess
Yeah,
that's
it
the
is.
would that be the closest college to Australia? American college. He just got on a plane and went to the first
Probably.
one. Yeah.
It's like that and St. Mary's. Like 95% of guys that
Yeah.
played in Australia go to St. Mary's somehow.
Yeah, that is very true. How did he play with the Bulls? You said he got his first minutes.
Well, I mean, they lost to the Pacers and the
He
Pelicans.
looks hilarious, by
He
the way.
doesn't look like an NBA player.
He sort of looks like
Mustache, center
like a
part.
giant toddler's been let out there on the floor to me, with his hair. But he has a mustache. I know that's weird. Anyway, he's got a look. Yeah.
Bulls got a lot of flow on their team this year.
Yeah.
How
They
about
do.
last
They do.
two guys that have been around a little longer? Haywood Highsmith. That's a tough one, I think.
Yeah, Hayward Highsmith. This is one that I was asked last year on Teed Up. My producer Christian asked me this. I forgot.
It's
Hayward
in
Highsmith.
West Virginia, if that helps at all. I've never heard of this university.
I suck geographically,
Okay.
so that made it harder.
What about a car?
yeah.
It's a part of a car.
Part of a car.
Part of a car.
Yeah. Very
part of a
important.
bike.
Probably the most important part of a car. Well, arguably. I don't know.
Part of a vehicle.
I'm guessing to me the most important part is an engine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, after I said it, I was like, I gotta
Part
walk
of an
that
electric
back.
vehicle too.
Wheeling University.
Wheeling.
Yeah.
That was a great hint, actually. Wheeling University.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot.
I would have think
Wheeling
tires though.
University.
Maybe it wasn't a great.
Hey, shout out to Hayward Highsmith. He got to be the only player out of Wheeling.
I gotta be. Yeah.
Last one, Amir Coffey. I think he's a Buck right now, right?
Yeah.
Yes, this is easy. This is a Big Ten guy. Amir Coffey went to Minnesota.
Hey.
That's right. That's right.
What are they? The Gophers? Is that what they are?
Yes,
Golden Gophers.
yes.
Ah, there
Yep.
it is.
Yeah. Shout
All
out to
right.
Chris Humphries.
That was awesome, man.
You crushed that, man.
Chris
Holy.
Humphries.
All right. Well, keep coming up to Pierre if you see him on the street with a random NBA player and test
Keep me
his
sharp.
knowledge. Yeah,
Keep me sharp
exactly.
because I missed two. I'm mad at myself. I missed two.
Yeah, you missed Haywood Highsmith.
Yeah,
you
but
knew
you
it.
I think it cancels out because Dennis Jenkins and Naquan Tomlin, you gave us two answers for both of them.
That's true.
So a lot of
That is
corrects.
true.
Did you see the NBC intros yesterday where guys were, they state what school they went to? AJ Mitchell said he went to
What was it? Cheesecake University?
Belgian Waffle
Belgian
University.
Waffle.
That was
Belgian
awesome.
Waffle.
That
Yeah.
was so good.
amazing.
We asked for it last week on No Ducks. They got to be funnier
Yeah,
in
you
their
did say
intros.
that, yeah.
This guy says Belgian Waffle University.
Victory lapping. AJ Mitchell.
Okay, that's a good one.
Oh,
That's one.
That's a good one.
He was
That's
definitely in, early conversation for most improved. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
younger guy, so I never love giving it to.
He was supposed to
a guy
be on my
76.
show. We couldn't get schedules to align, but he was supposed to be on my show, and that I was going to tell him how high I was on him. And then he just took off. So I may never get him on my show.
Yeah.
now.
I don't know now. Well, look, man, Pierre, it was so fun to have you on here. A long time coming. Congrats on all the success with the shows that you guys are doing and now at NBC Peacock. Let the people know the best way to follow you, get in touch with you, and to see these shows.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on any platform at Pee Wee the Plug. I should be the only guy that pops up with that name. And then Monday through Friday, NBC Sports Now, we have the noon slot. So you'll see my face 4 days out of the week there. And then Saturday, and we still are the numbers on the board, regular YouTube show there. And thank you guys for having me. Again, you guys, when we first got into this space, were the ones that set the example for us that we followed. I still remember the day Kenny was like, I don't want to say the old name, but look out for these guys. And, to see you guys still killing it, I think you guys are the embodiment of basketball and friendship, which is the path we follow. So thank you guys for setting that example and blueprint and for having me on. And I'm wishing you guys much more success. And hopefully Modest can turn into that MVP guy.
Let's go.
Well, appreciate the kind words and appreciate you coming on the show here early this morning there in Chicago. We'll talk to you hopefully soon.
Peace, guys.
Take care. Pierre from Numbers on the Board, Teed Up, NBC, Peacock, all of their shows. Man, I can't believe how well he did on that.
That was awesome.
I did not think. I'm reading
super
these going, there's
impressive.
no chance he's going to know half of these.
Yeah, I mean, some of them he had to think for like at least 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You know.
He's naming the 2 schools in a row that they go to. That's. I mean, we're sickos. We know a lot about the
That was
NBA,
impressive.
but yeah, that college angle, we do not. All right, we're going to get into some of last night's games and some other news in the association, but a quick break to hear from a sponsor.
We're 6 weeks into the NBA season, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. And this is the time where good teams can play down to their competition, especially first quarters, second quarters. But even if you miss the start of a game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. There are even profit boosts on single-game parlays if you bet today. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA.
All right, everybody on YouTube right now, hit the like button for Pierre. Make sure you subscribe, share the show, podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. We would really appreciate it. We'll get into some of last night's games, again, some other news, but we did have a wedgie, and it was a beauty, and it was very rare. It was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the free throw line getting a crazy bounce, doink, 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 and then wedges in there at the line, end of the first half. Wedgie tracker, we got the database. It's only our 6th ever wedgie from the free throw line.
Wow.
Since we started tracking 12 years ago, it's really 5 because we sort of forced one in. Marcus Smart, playoff free throw. It was missed, and then somebody hammered in because it was the 50th wedgie of our year.
So we called it a free throw wedgie. Good point.
Yeah, there's a video out there of Grant Williams, Nick Collison, TJ Leaf, and Kemba Walker hitting them. But this one, clearly the best player ever to have a free throw wedgie in our history, anyways, that I remember, 12 years.
Sure, yeah.
Unless some random, unless MJ had a free throw wedgie. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Great pick from this wedgie that was going around last night. SGA looking up to the heavens. He can't believe it. I like to think he's going, my God, I'm going to be on No Dunks tomorrow.
That would be awesome if guys start taking it personally. Like when Shaqtin' a Fool was at the heyday, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be on Shaqtin' a Fool.
Right.
But this is kind of an honor.
This
And
is an honor.
They really let that thing breathe.
Oh yeah, near the end of the half, it was.
Yeah.
I would say they should have just let it stay the entire.
We'll just pick it
halftime
up with the ball here at the second half.
First one to come out of the locker room and tip it out gets the ball. Yeah,
Draymond
really good.
jumped for it, didn't go get it. I was surprised. I thought he'd be like, come on, man, let's go. But no.
So 18 wedgies now is where we're at on the season. Pretty good pace. And let's talk about that game a little bit because not only did he stick a beautiful wedgie at the free throw line, he scored 38 points. And he took over down the stretch when the Thunder were up huge and then the Warriors got back into the game and they needed SGA to flip the game on its head and win it for them. They win their 13th straight. They beat the Warriors 124-112. What's their record now? 21-1.
Correct.
That's good. Pretty
It's
good.
still so weird. We're sort of not talking about it. Really, I mean, we as in like sort of the NBA media, it's like it's there, it's amazing, but we're not like going overboard. Though maybe you're starting to see like more people going, wow, are they going to do 70 plus wins? Are they going to do 74 wins?
Because they're the only the 4th team in NBA history to start a season 21-1. That's pretty
That's
good.
something.
Yeah.
And they're the defending champs already.
Yeah. And those 3 teams, 2 of them won a championship, and the Warriors, they lost in 7 games in the finals. So here we go.
But it did take, again, SGA over the final couple minutes to put the Warriors to bed. But your takeaways?
I'm just happy to see the Thunder look a little fallible, right? You know, like, hey, even they can take their foot off the gas a little bit. Even they can have a team get really, really hot. I think that's a lot of what happened in this game. The Warriors just started getting 3-pointers from everybody. Draymond hit 3 in the second half. Gary Payton hit 2 in the second half. Neither of those guys are big-time shooters. Kuminga made 1. Pat Spencer was unconscious. 7 for 11 from the field. This is a team, the Thunder, that have been rampaging through the league to start the season. We're talking about their record. They've also got this crazy margin of victory. They've got a great net rating. They've been blowing teams out since basically the second week of the season. But in the past week and a half, they've actually played some close games. And this one was a game that they had to go out and win. And of course, they went out and did it. SGA was the leader, I thought. Like you said, 7 points in the fourth, went 3 of 4 from the field. But Chet had 9 in the fourth, 3 of 4 from the field. J-Dub had 8 points, 3 of 4 from the field in the fourth quarter. It's like anytime they needed a basket, one of those 3 guys was able to just go out and get a basket. I also thought best game so far for J-Dub in his return went 22 points, 9 of 16 from the field. And it was mostly just all on drives. I don't think he made a 3-pointer last night, but went 8 of 10 in the lane, took another 4 free throws. Just cool to see them win a game without having to be a blowout. And, you know, at least a little bit of doubt in a game when the Thunder are playing, I think is exciting.
Yeah. And I would say from the Golden State side, I call this a moral victory. You don't have Steph. Jimmy Butler doesn't play in the second half because he got injured. There's no Al Horford. And all of a sudden, these guys show up. You're Pat Spencer. I thought Brandon Pajemski looked good. Seth Curry is now a member of the Golden State Warriors hitting shots. I think this is a bit of a victory for them just in terms of the depth that guys can show up and take a lead on the Thunder, who... Yeah, we all see that they're 21-1, but not enough people are talking about. I think you mentioned Chet Holmgren going 3 for 4 in that fourth quarter. He wasn't there at the beginning of last season because he fell down and hurt his hip. So for a majority of the season, he wasn't there. But for him to come back, I think he looks better. And then you add in Jalen Williams, his best game. I think they could easily win 75 games because even Draymond Green was asked about it after the game and said, you guys did it. Yeah. You guys won 73 games. Can that other team do it? And he started to say, it's really hard. A lot of things have to work out. But he just stopped himself. He almost stopped himself and had to basically think, man, that team is freaking good. They could do it. They literally could. With the way they do it now, their depth showing up. We just talked about AJ Mitchell with Pete. Anybody can come in and do it. How many guys have to be injured for that team to really expect them to lose? Now, the playoffs against Denver is a different
main guys
scenario.
Right now.
Yeah.
Hartenstein and Lou Dort.
Caruso.
And Caruso. The 3 guys.
Yeah.
3 of their best defenders.
So they could do it. They could easily do it.
My FanDuel odds are down to -106 for 70 or more wins. Pretty soon it's going to be plus odds.
Yeah, 70. I mean, I've come around to like 70 seems very doable.
Yes.
It's the 74. It's actually eclipsing the 73-9 Warriors. That to me is still like I can't go there. It's just like seems insane because it is one of these things like one bad week, like 2 losses over the stretch of like a week, and it's like almost like out of reach. Mm-hmm. But man, what I loved about SGA last night. I felt like he was taking it personally that they were putting Buddy Hield on him. And I know the Warriors didn't have a ton of options, like, especially when Jimmy Butler went out, but like he took offense to that. Like he would, like when he hit that step back 3 over Buddy, he was, for a guy that barely shows emotion, he was like screaming and motivated at his own bench, right? Like he's like, I felt he felt like disrespected. He's like, come on, I'm the MVP, man. What are you, Buddy Hield? Because then he scored on him another 2 times. So that's pretty cool to see. They're awesome. 21-1. And maybe people aren't talking about them because, like, what do you say at this point? Doesn't matter who plays, doesn't matter who's in the lineup. They either just, like, kick the snot out of teams or even these close games, you've got the MVP. And that's the crazy part. That's, like, they have this luxury of, like, even in a close game, we'll go to one of the best clutch shooters in the game. He's going to make the right decision.
Yeah, and he's going to make a shot.
Yeah.
He's going to get called out by Jamal Crawford. The moves he's doing. Jamal Crawford's like, oh, step back left coming. And it's a step back left.
Yeah.
There's just unstoppable Shai, and he can get into what he wants to get to basically anytime he wants to. It's impossible to even look at their schedule and think of when they're going to lose. It's going to be a shock. It's like they've got time off, right? Like they don't play until Friday. Mm-hmm. So they should probably handle the Mavericks. You would think maybe at the second night of a back-to-back. They don't have a back-to-back until December 23rd. So maybe playing at the Spurs December 23rd. That would be game 29. Otherwise, it'd be a shocker. Maybe a cup shocker against the Suns, who played them pretty well the last time they played.
I just realized what's going to happen here. So the Thunder are going to win. Okay, how do I put this? They're going to win the cup, right? So they're going to win that final game that will not count to their regular season schedule.
Interesting.
And that will end up being, let's say, the 73rd to tie the Warriors or the 74th win in the totality of a season. But then people are going to be like, yeah, but it doesn't count. They're like, yeah, but they won that game in the season.
So if they don't win 73 games, you're saying?
Well, either or. Like, I'm saying...
Well, if they win 75, then they're all good. Or
no,
74,
I'm saying,
then they're all good.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying it's going to be important. Either coming up short or tying or passing, but then people aren't going to be able to count it. Isn't that what's going to happen?
That'll be hilarious, actually. I hope that happens.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
and they lost it last year, so that is some sort of motivation going into the NBA Cup to do something. And you mentioned Shai getting mad at people, getting disgusted. That's another thing for Shai to help improve his focus, because we all know the legend, like an MJ found somebody in the front row, or like Luka, something to motivate him. But Shai is so even keeled. He never gets like that. Maybe that's something that can turn up his game. Because they are an even-keeled team, and that's why they look like the San Antonio Spurs of the old. They're so even-keeled, and they'll get there to the end when they will probably be around a mid-70s. It wouldn't be surprising.
Shai's talked about motivation being, I didn't like how we partied when we won the title.
Yeah.
I think it was like almost disappointed. We didn't know how to open bottles of champagne. Caruso had to teach us. He didn't say those exact words, but I'm saying he wasn't like, maybe it was weird how they handled their victory. So he has talked about that.
He's talked about that, and he also mentioned he didn't think that they played all that great in the playoffs, right? So that to me is like, I guess, 2 7-game series, and I think probably the Pacers was a little more shocking that they took the Thunder to 7 games. The Nuggets had Jokic, and they have, at least a number one who can go head to head with SGA. But hearing him say that and seeing the way they've come out to start the season, it feels like they're chasing greatness, right? And that's clearly what the Warriors were doing back in the 15-16 season. And you need to have that mindset if you're going to challenge for 70 wins. So at this point, I'm with you, Skeets. I think they will get 70 or more. And it's just a question of, at the end of the season, how much do they want to preserve their stars to get ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, but even if they preserve their stars, they can win.
Yeah, sure. I would have to look at the schedule to know who they are going against, and maybe those games matter a lot more for, maybe they're playing the Trailblazers and they're trying to get into the play-in tournament or something like that. In that case, I am taking Abdi over Ousmane Dieng.
And also, and like we say that because of their depth, and it's true. You're right. I agree with you, and I've said it too. Like, wow, they are just a deep team. They've got any guys they roll out, they're going to compete. But I think that does diminish, and last night's game is a perfect example, like, of what SGA does and means for the team in close games. Like, they don't have a 21-1 record if SGA is not playing in, 10, 11 of these games. They don't. You've watched the games.
He's hit a lot of big shots.
Huge shots. Moments. Completely takes over. And they wouldn't have that unbelievable record. Like, I'm not saying anything, like, crazy, but I don't want to diminish, like, what he's done. Because everyone's also like, Jokic, he's the MVP. No, he's not. No, he's not. Not when your team's 21-1. I'm sorry. But I mean, he leads in every statistical category, but the point is to win, and he's literally only lost once. And that was a close game.
Yeah, and he's leading a motivated locker room. Jokic's team has lost 4 straight games at home to sub-500 teams, if I'm doing the standings correctly. That's the thing that keeps OKC at the top of the top, is that they're ready every single game. And that's what Draymond Green was being asked about post-game. Can this team do what you guys did? Be motivated to be the all-time greatest NBA regular season team like you guys were. And he said, it's hard. So many things have to go right. That took several years off my life, is what he said. He made it about him. It's ain't about you, man. It's about OKC. But they could do it because they are motivated and they're so frickin' even-keeled. But yeah, Shai has to play 80 of the 82 games or whatever. He has to play a lot of them.
Celtics hold off the late Knicks charge to win 123-117 in a rematch of an East semifinal. I thought this was a very entertaining game. Had wild swings in this one too. Celtics were down huge. They could not hit a shot to save their life. Suddenly they're back in control in the second quarter, and Jaylen Brown led the way. 42 points, 16 to 24 shooting, 4 assists, 4 boards. He will be one of the 4 Jaylens on the American All-Star team. All right?
Yep.
You can about lock that in at this point.
I think so.
Yeah, it's Jalen Johnson, like Pierre said. It's probably Jalen Duren. I think that's a lock with the Pistons record, or very close. And then it's Jaylen Brown and Jalen Brunson. Those are 4. Too bad J-Dub obviously will not make it.
Not going to make it, probably.
No, I don't think
I mean, by the time we get to the All-Star game?
he'll have played like
Yeah, I guess Chet's
12
probably
games.
their
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
You need
Their second
16
guy.
Americans, man. You're not going to make it. I get that's the problem.
I keep forgetting there's
You
2
need
Americans.
Yeah, but you can overdose, right? You can go over. They can have 20 Americans, and then they'll just add extra international.
I want
Injury
just
replacements.
Jalen's. Team Jalen's, man. Do it.
Yeah, I was wrong about Jalen coming into the season. I thought his knee would be a problem, but it ain't. He was awesome in the second quarter. What he dropped? He dropped 18, then he dropped 15 in the third quarter, and then I liked what the Knicks did. They blitzed and they got the ball out of his hands a little bit. They forced other guys to do it, and Jordan Walsh was awesome.
He was great.
Yeah, he was the sort of outlet that Jaylen Brown would have to pass to, and he would, and he's not a scorer, so he would make the pass to a shooter. Shooter would miss. He got an offensive rebound, put back, offensive rebound, put back, offensive rebound on 3 straight possessions, and he had a steal in there.
Yeah.
So the Celtics, I can't believe how well they're playing. When you mentioned Jordan Walsh, I thought Hugo Gonzalez was good in the second quarter for this
was?
team.
Yep.
So Joe Mazzulla, he's going to get some Coach of the Year votes if they continue to play like this. That's why the Eastern Conference is kind of fun. There's a bunch of teams that could win this frickin' thing.
Yeah, Hugo was good, Walsh was good, and the other unsung heroes I thought were Josh Minot hitting a couple of threes, and Anthony Simons gave the Celtics a little flicker of hope, I thought, right at the end of the first quarter, going into the second quarter, making some shots to kind of get them
finally hit a 3.
rolling.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a guy that we haven't talked about at all since coming over, and it's just a weird Celtics season, like we've mentioned before. They've been such a major player in the NBA for the past 7 years, and basically to have them just be a middle of the pack team is unusual. But Jaylen Brown was great. You could tell the Knicks were missing OG. They were switching everything up until the fourth quarter, and Jaylen Brown was just killing anybody on switches. It was get Brunson or Deuce McBride on him, get into the lane, finish, create for somebody, or just shoot a jumper over the top. I think a game of runs is the best game to watch. Where one team gets out to a huge start, like the Knicks did last night, then the Celtics come back. And then the Knicks come back. The tilts to it are just very, very fun.
Yeah.
Knicks, though, kind of lost their cool, I thought. They went away from what was working in the first half. It was drive and kick, get some wide open 3-pointers, and then when things started to turn sour, Celtics started playing well. It was like, let me try and fix this. Towns, to me, really poor defensive game. He was really getting lost in the sauce with all of the referees stuff. Even when he was scoring, thinking he was supposed to be getting and ones, a lot of confused Carl faces. Where's the call? Where's the call? And then the defense, like I said, was pretty bad. They just got really physical with them, the Celtics did, and it was very frustrating for Towns. And once he goes over the edge, sometimes he can't necessarily get it back.
Yeah, they went small on him, defending him. It helped get under his skin for sure, and Jaylen Brown was just going after him at possession after possession, but it was fun to see the Knicks go after Jaylen Brown after those monstrous second and third quarters. And Jaylen, he didn't have a bucket until 5 seconds left when the game was over in the fourth quarter. He didn't have one until right at the end when it was garbage time. They just threw up ahead and he needed a bucket. So that was great to see the Knicks go ahead of them. The Knicks, I think defensively they miss OG a little bit. They got to. He's coming back probably on December 7th, which is bad news for Toronto Raptors fans because he'll probably be back for that quarterfinal game of the NBA Cup. It sure feels that way. There's some talk that Wemby might be back too for the quarterfinal of the NBA Cup game, potentially. So I'm just pumping the NBA Cup hype. Why not?
Pumping the cup.
Pump it
the
up.
cup, man. We haven't talked a lot about the Celtics, but we're going to be forced to as they keep getting these quality wins, right? Because they beat Cleveland on Sunday and then they take down another really good team in the Knicks there last night on the cock. I will say Jaylen Brown, we went over how great a game he played. What I really loved is he actually started like garbage. It was a bad start. He stepped out of bounds on the first play. Then he lost the ball a minute later. Josh Hart was all over him. He was missing all of his shots. So he checked out in the first quarter. He had like 3 turnovers, 2 fouls. And I was like, well, this is going to be a long night for Celtics fans. But that to me is like, whoa, yeah, that's a guy that is a superstar, proving his point, comes back in, had that huge second quarter, huge third quarter. He's deserving of like end of the MVP ballot like type votes right now. You know, like a little 5th little place vote there to me, which means nothing, I know, but still. He's played that well.
Somebody's
with no
got to
Jason
get him.
Tatum. Yeah. But I also wrote my notes. The game ball had to have been cut up into 2. Just use like a chainsaw or something to cut it in half and give half of it to Hugo Gonzalez, who was awesome in the second quarter, played the entire quarter. Great hustle. And then Jordan Walsh at the end. He just kept grabbing offensive rebounds.
Yep. Yeah.
Like giving them another chance. He did so many times. He had 4 offensive rebounds, 4 from the floor, had a steal, had a block. So those 2 guys bringing the energy for the Celtics.
Yeah, when the Knicks took a lead in that fourth quarter, it was all Jordan Walsh, 3 straight offensive rebounds on possessions. You wouldn't think it'd come from Jordan Walsh, that's for sure.
Other games last night, Harrison Barnes, another 31-point night for him. Spurs beat the Grizzlies. The other Barnes, Scotty Barnes, in the East, 28 points. He did everything once again. I watched the majority of this one. Raptors beat the Blazers in a close one. Anthony Edwards had a very easy late layup to force overtime. It was like, here you go, sir, have this layup, get us into extra time. The Wolves edged the Pelicans 149-142 in the overtime period. And then Tyrese Maxey scored 20 of his 35 in the third quarter. 76ers beat the Wizards. Any of those games you want to address?
Frickin' Harrison Barnes.
Spurs are undefeated when Harrison Barnes scores 15 or more points.
Wow, there's a stat.
He's maybe the MVP. Maybe give him a 5th place vote.
End of the ballot MVP votes for Harrison Barnes, Mr. 100%.
Mr. 100%. Yeah, Sean Elliott was saying it after every basket he made, and I only saw the highlights of this one. So then I went and looked at the box score, and Harrison Barnes went 10 for 20 from the field.
Yes.
Sounds like Mr. 50%.
It's a little tongue-in-cheek from Sean Elliott, I think.
Yeah, but it's pretty. He was going crazy.
He said it so
He's
many
like
times.
Eric Reed with the kabooms every time. Boop. Mr. 100%. Mr. 100%. Tune into our YouTube channel later. I'm going to pull all these clips together. Dylan Harper's back for the Spurs. He's been on a little bit of a roll since returning. He had 15 points, 6 assists, and 0 turnovers last night. He's played 4 games since returning from injury. 0 turnovers in any of them. Shooting 50% coming off the bench for the Spurs right now. Fox made a lot of shots late for them, but Dylan Harper, man, had a great start to the season, went down with the injury, but since coming back, like, hasn't missed a step.
No.
Just looks so savvy. Looks like he's 28 years old. Not necessarily in the face. He's got a young enough face, but like he plays like a man.
He does.
He knows how to get his baskets the way he wants to. Super impressive from them and from the Spurs to not fall apart with Wemby going down.
Like you said, 6-2. Is that the record? Without him?
In games without Victor Wembanyama, and you got a young player playing well, and you got an old player who's not that old in Harrison Barnes, but you got a De'Aaron Fox. It feels like they got so much depth, so it is a little scary for the rest of the league. If this guy comes back, he's supposed to be back very soon, along with Stephon Castle. They got so many freaking parts. Yeah, they're super scary.
Yeah, that really is the biggest takeaway from the rookie class is how much these guys just look like they've been playing in the NBA for 7 or 8 years. Harper, Knipple, Cooper Flagg, obviously at moments, Coward. Like there's just like so many guys are like, what?
Yeah, they
This is
were
their
ready
first
to go.
20 games in the NBA. It's like they don't look like it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They all look savvy. There's a lot of savvy out there. I mean, I guess you would say with regards to the Pelicans, I think there are some youth moments for Fears and Queen.
Yes.
Like those guys look a little bit like they're rookies to me, but they play really well. They play really well off each other, but then they make some silly plays late in the fourth quarter, which is why the Pelicans have blown some of these games, including last night. Ant was just awesome in the second half. 34 points of his 44 came in the second half. Played all 27 minutes of the second half and overtime. And Chris Finch was eventually just like, let's just not even do a screen. Just go play one-on-one, and he was unstoppable.
It was hilarious. Yeah, the fact that New Orleans had 35 buckets in the paint. That's a lot of freaking points. A lot of 70 points in the paint. They just weren't playing hard defensively, and that's what Minnesota does. When they need to, here comes Anthony Edwards. Although, yeah, him playing the 29 minutes that he needed to play, that's a bad sign for that team. Yeah, I had to
You're
correct
right.
it.
24 plus 5 is 29.
Yeah, I had to get it in there.
I'm updating my notes, even though I'm not going to say it again.
No, you won't say that.
All right, but
I'm going to look back.
Weird. That's weird.
to
Weird
finish
with
your
the
point,
Wolves.
though, you were saying the Warriors, that's sort of like one of those quality losses. because they were shorthanded against a really good team. But this sounds like
Yeah.
not a great win from Minnesota
No.
having to go to extra time against Pelicans.
I mean, that's who they are. That is who they've been the last couple years. They get it done when it comes to March. They turn it on. And then April, boom, here we are. We're going to the conference finals. So there's that. But as I've said, they kind of need an asshole in the room. Maybe Chris Paul joins the club to be that extra guy. Who knows? There's that. Speaking of a backup guard who likes to drive his team, Jamal Shead needs to be spoken of with the Toronto Raptors, because he came in, he had the first half interview, and he said, listen, we just weren't playing hard defensively. We were sticking too much to the scouting report, and we were allowing open threes, which is exactly what happened. They're doubling Denny, and they weren't getting out to guys like Tumani Kamara, who splashed four threes in that first quarter. Not an incredible three-point shooter, but he's good enough when he's wide open. So they scored 39 points on the Raptors, but then, as he said, the bench picked it up. And that's exactly what they did. And then, Scotty Barnes, the Eastern Conference Defensive Player of the Month.
Yeah,
which is
I
fun.
always forget they hand that out.
Yeah.
Deserving, though. Very deserving.
This is the second year, right? Or it's the third year. They haven't done it forever. But yeah, he blocked. Was it Avdia? With 6 seconds left to ice the game. That's beautiful, because he had another block on Denny Avdia, which was awesome, blocking him from the perimeter. He shut him down all the way into the lane and then blocked him. So it's great that Ingram is there to take off a lot of pressure offensively, so he can just play in the post. And that drive when he needs to, that drive and dunk with the left hand. My God, 28, 7, and 7 for him. So, I got to include this stat, Trey, because you like screen assists.
I love them.
Jakob Poeltl, 4.4 screen assists per game, second in the NBA, man. He just opens things up for that team.
Okay.
Quickly cooking. They should have won by more, but they got it
But
done
it was
anyway.
a good team.
Yeah.
That was a fun game, too. I mean, I watched a lot of that one, too, obviously, being the Raps. It came down to the wire, but Scotty Barnes, this guy, you have to watch Raptors games to really understand how good he is this year. Because sometimes it shows up in the box score and sometimes it doesn't. Like, I think last night was one where it did. Obviously, 28 points and 7 boards, 6 assists. He unfortunately had a lot of turnovers, but then he has the defensive stats. But he has command on both ends of the floor right now. And the 3-point shot he takes with confidence. He feels good about it. Got the little flips in there, little dinkers and dumpers around the rim, the jumper. And this was a game where Brandon Ingram was not cooking. And it was all the other guys. It was nice to see Grady Dick have a good performance off the bench. You said Shed. I mean, he doesn't really do anything here in the box score for the most part, but made the biggest plays at the end. That pass to Ingram, cutting, lost in the corner, and then he cut to the net. That was a gorgeous pass, because he waited just a beat longer as the shot clock was ticking down. He knew, obviously, time and score. Gorgeous dime, I thought, inside from him. So he's played well.
Yeah.
So, quality win.
It was getting a little scary with the Raps. It seemed like every single one of their possessions was literally 20, 21 seconds. What are we doing here? And then all of a sudden, this guy who's just hanging out on the perimeter, bang, find him. So that was a beautiful pass from Jamal Shead. Also great to see Charles Oakley and Antonio Davis in the crowd.
Gave him a nice applause.
Big applause. Big applause.
I thought they gave a nice one to Davis and then even louder one to Oak. And I think that's right.
He's the man.
Even though Davis was an all-star when he played for the Raps 1 year, but Charles Oakley is just beloved.
Yeah.
And even the clips they're showing, I'm like, I forgot he was basically like sort of Rodman diving into the crowd, obviously jostling and fighting with everybody.
They can steal him. They could steal Charles Oakley. He was cast aside by James
Knicks,
Dolan and the Knicks. So he's a free agent, legends-wise. He shows up at like Cavs games as well, because he was there for a while. Not a ton of Bulls.
No.
Ties, I don't think.
Raptors fans love him.
Yeah, so I think I think they could take him.
They could take him, yeah. And he, like you said, he got a bigger applause than Antonio Davis, who was there way longer. Oakley only played, I think, just over 200 games for them. He didn't play a ton, but he is reminded. Why were they there? I don't know.
That part I wasn't sure.
I wanted somebody to ask him about
sitting there courtside.
Yeah.
Salute.
Sixers have been terrible in third quarters. I think they're the second worst third quarter team in the league, behind only the Pelicans. So you're almost the worst. But a good way to solve that is just have Tyrese Maxey go nuts. 20 of his 35, like you said, got a dunk, raise the roof. I love raising the roof.
You do.
You don't see it enough these days. Good to see a young guy raising the roof.
Keep it going.
I thought it came up last season. Was
Yeah,
somebody doing it last season? And we talked about it for a second because we were all like, yeah, that's great. I can't remember who it was.
Let me
though.
go deep into my notes. I'll find it. Because if it happened, I made note of it.
Okay, good.
Because it doesn't happen enough.
No.
I remember you bringing it up, I swear, over the last year or two. It came back into the zeitgeist of somebody raising the roof.
Yeah, you got to. What's better, raising the roof or the Milwaukee Bucks doing the deer antlers? That's just weird. This
Raising
is
the
weird.
roof.
Yeah.
I know Giannis did it a long time
Yeah,
ago when he did the antlers, and then we've seen it recently. Miles Turner, I think, pulled it out.
Yeah, raising the roof is better.
Chet Holmgren on March 20th, 2024 had 5 dunks in a 35-point game against the Jazz, and he raised the roof on a big dunk.
I bet we talked about it.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely, he did.
All right.
Nice note.
Love it. I love it. See, that's why I had to update that Anthony Edwards note. What if I ever need to go back and look how many minutes he played in the second half of a game against the Pelicans?
So you're right. I love the Google search. We're searching it. No doubt. That's a Google Drive search. It's important.
We're running a little long here, so just we'll touch on this news briefly. But Pelican star Zion Williamson has a grade 2 right hip adductor strain. The team announced this yesterday. Zion, he's already missed 11 games earlier this season. He's going to be reevaluated in 3 weeks. The adductor muscles, for those that don't know, Trey, help me out here, but I think they're like the muscles located in the inner thigh, providing stability for the pelvis. Important for activities like running and jumping. Very important. So he's going to be reevaluated in 3 weeks. Like, I don't even, what's there to say at this point?
Here's what to say. Time to move on.
Yeah.
Trade him for anything. Literally, if you can get one pick back, maybe a team would still roll the dice on Zion Williamson. Still a talented guy. And if you can get him on the court, he's going to be there for you. But guess what? Even if he can't, his contract is non-guaranteed. So the Pelicans, if they wanted, they could just waive him. Maybe that's a smart move to do as well. Why do you keep building your team around this guy when you can't be sure he'll ever play 5 straight games?
Right.
They've given him 6.5 years. At this point, if he goes to another team and he's awesome, sorry. I mean, that sucks for you, but it's like, we did the best we could. How many different versions of a team have there been built around Zion Williamson? How many different administrations have been in charge of building those teams? At this point, it's just like not worth the hassle. Even if he gets healthy, like, you might look like fools down the line if he finally is able to play for a full season. I wouldn't bet on it at this point because I did think he was going to play this season. So
came in shape, looked great. Yep, we went through all of
had
this.
the nice goatee. That's the reason Tass has a goatee. Is because Zion came in with
It's all
one.
Z. It's all Z. Thanks, Z.
But at this point, it's like, shop him, see if anybody is willing to bite on him, and if not, see you later.
Yeah, I agree. We had this discussion last year because his salary is not guaranteed each year. It all depends on if he, number one, plays and he meets his body fat percentage requirement. But I bought into this year because he said, I've learned how to be in the best possible condition I can be. And it wasn't just an off-season thing. He said it was from his personal trainer during last year's season. And so he was in and out last year, but I thought, listening to him, part of it was just his trainer saying, like, at this point, we're done. I mean, our season is done. The Pelicans stunk, so it was smart not to just play him every single game. So I was buying in with a new administration, with a new Joe Dumars, who he just kept on plugging. He loves him. He says, I love Joe. Joe was definitely pushing him, but you could see with the way they got spanked so early in this season that the locker room wasn't right. He wasn't leading the locker room in those 20-point losses that they were suffering. So, we're at here now. He's playing 10 games. If he gets over half, that's a huge accomplishment. If he plays over half an NBA season, that's a huge accomplishment.
He has played in 45% of the Pelicans games since he came in the league.
Yeah.
50%. You'll take that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be a good year. I mean,
Yeah.
it's bad. 224 out of a possible nearly 500 games.
Yeah.
They're right there.
Yeah, so I went into the doctors and see if there was some connection between the left hamstring or the adductor, but really it's just going to be there forever. And I'm just trying to remember now, as you asked what the adductor is inside of the thigh, while the abductor is on the outside of the hip. What's the great mnemonic device to remember? Because I always got to think, oh God, what's the adductor? What's the abductor?
The way I learned it was like an abduction is taking something away. So the abductor's on the outside are taking things away from the midline of your body.
Okay, well, that's good. That works.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's why
taking it away.
got
Yeah.
great grades. That's why you're a doctor.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. That's one of the few things I remember.
Oh, right. It's the only thing you remembered.
That and the anatomical snuff box. You're going to want to zoom in right here.
Wow.
Wow.
You see that
Oh, I
right here
have
on
that.
your thumb?
Yeah,
Everybody's got it.
Yeah.
It's called the anatomical snuff box. Right there where the tendons of your thumb. Two
Right.
tendons. Put some snuff right in there.
Yeah.
Just
There you go. Wow.
so good.
Okay. Maybe get some to
That is a
Zion.
good mnemonic device.
Final thought on this. I did wonder if Joe Dumars and the Pelicans front office thought that potentially trading Zion would be some sort of backup plan to justify trading the unprotected pick for Derek Queen. And if that worst case scenario, we'll just then trade Zion and get a pick back is what I'm getting at here. But then the problem with that now is Zion's value has never been lower.
Yes.
So it's like, ugh. It just sucks. At this point, we have to talk about Zion when he actually plays, not when there's another headline that he misses 3 weeks. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
And we've been there.
Yeah, it's lower than last season, but there are good games, and it is only 3 weeks. If I'm going to be positive about the Pelicans front office, he is going to come back, and you could see him play because he does play awesome when he plays. Even this year in his 10 games, he played pretty good.
So wait, you're hoping
He comes back.
he comes back and then you trade him before the deadline.
You
He
should.
looks solid. Yeah,
You
okay.
should.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's
They have
dire.
to.
It's dire New Orleans. Even watching the games there, I think the cameras are zooming in close on everything because they don't want to show you the empty seats. They don't want to show you what's going on out there because it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just,
How can you blame him?
yep.
Yeah, but I mean, they also have a little energy, I think, around
Yeah.
Fears and
At
Queen.
least they have that.
So that to me is it's similar to like firing Nico Harrison, right? Like you don't want this hanging over Cooper flag. You don't want Zion hanging over what's going to be the next era of New Orleans. So even though they don't have their pick, like they blew it. Sorry, that's long gone at this point. It's time to just focus on the new guys who have your team actually excited.
I went on KOC earlier this week. He proposed a trade. You know, KOC loves a trade machine.
he does.
He proposed the Lakers making a move for Herb Jones, and it would take like Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect. There may have been a little bit more to make the contracts work, and a first round pick, like a future first round pick. I didn't think it was that crazy. Like I think the Pelicans should do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, and this is a guy that can't really stay healthy as it is. But the idea is he might slot in there well with the Lakers in a limited role, just of a defensive-minded guy. I think it makes some sense. Anyway, just want to throw that in.
Yeah.
Other news here, before we get to Wobo and Pick'em. Veteran NBA forward Danilo Gallinari, the Rooster, announced his retirement from basketball on Tuesday. He was drafted 6th overall. That shocked me. I don't remember him being drafted that high in 08 by the Knicks. After 4 professional years in Italy, and then Gallinari spent 16 years in the NBA, played 14 seasons because he unfortunately lost 2 full seasons due to an ACL tear in 13-14, I guess it was, and then 22-23 later on at the end of his career. Any thoughts on a very good player? He will go into a very good Hall of Fame. I'm not sure what tier you're putting him. He was a solid player, though.
It was solid, and that's why the Boston Celtics said, come on by. Maybe we can win with you to try and win a championship with him. It didn't, align for Danilo Gallinari, but he won a championship this past year in Puerto Rico. So he's kind of retiring on
And
top.
MVP.
Finals MVP.
Yeah.
He was the guy. So a very good career for him.
Any thoughts on Gallinari?
A few. He threw some crazy passes that I saw going around behind the backers that had incredible velocity on them. Once his retirement was announced, people are pulling out the best clips. I thought that was cool. He also,
numbers on the board, guys. They had a clip going around like Gallinari was sneaky athletic. And the clips, you're like, he sort of was. Look, you put the compilation together.
sneaky athletic.
It was more athletic than you might think.
Okay. I'll also remember he's the NBA player who most looks like Robert De Niro. I think that's important. And when he was here in Atlanta, was a surprisingly important player in their run to the conference finals in 2021 as a rare guy on the roster who could go get his own shot, even if it was taking a long time to get into his post-up fadeaways. But the main thing I'm always going to remember about Danilo Gallinari is that he is the player that taught me that NBA coaches lie. Because Mike D'Antoni went from coaching Steve Nash during his 2 MVP seasons when he was 50, 40, 90 every season. And Mike D'Antoni, after coaching Danilo Gallinari, said he's the best shooter I've ever seen. And that's why I was like, oh, so we just tell lies now. And then it turns out Mike D'Antoni and Danilo Gallinari's dad were roommates when they played together back in Italy. So I think that was an important lesson to learn.
Yeah, that's a great point. The other thing everybody brings up when you talk Gallinari is that he was a part of the Melo trade, right? Getting Melo from Denver to New York. He goes back to Denver. That's where Gallinari played the most in his career. He played for Denver, I think, 5.5 seasons, if I remember correctly. I do, we obviously had the show because we're old and we've been doing this forever. I remember when he destroyed his left knee, that first ACL tear versus the Mavericks. It was at the end of the season because that was a good Nuggets team. That was like a 55+ win Nuggets team.
Yeah.
And he blew by Dirk and he just like took 2 dribbles and then just like, the knee just went. And it was like, oh, that does not look good. He looked in like so much pain. Like you remember like screaming. And yeah, there was like 5 or 6 games left in the regular season. So then they go into the playoffs and they would lose to Steph Curry and the Warriors. Like that's young baby Steph really in a first round matchup. And Gallinari, I bring that up because he was an important piece. Like he 15, 16 points per game, obviously played a lot of minutes. I think Ty Lawson was sort of injured that year too. He came back at the end of the year, but yeah, they got bounced in the first round. I bring that up to say, who knows? Would they have won the title? Probably not, but would they have gone a little deeper with a healthy Gallinari and a healthy squad? Maybe.
Yeah, that was the conversation when they got into the playoffs. They got a bunch of really good players like your Gallinari, your Lawson. They don't have a superstar, but they're doing it by committee. Here's Wilson Chandler. He's good. He can do it.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that team.
A little trivia with Gallinari before we go to the other things. He hit 1,456 three-pointers. That is the 6th most by an NBA player in NBA history who's 6'10 or taller. Can you guys tell me the 5 guys 6'10 or taller to hit more threes than Gallinari at that height?
Dirk.
Correct. He's second. I think I have these in order, but he's on the list. Dirk.
Whoa.
1,000.
Yeah,
Porzingis is probably too few. Ryan Anderson?
No.
Towns, I guess.
No,
hasn't
Not
done it yet.
Towns? That's actually kind of surprising.
I'm trusting this stat here, so yeah. I mean, it's a lot. That's 1,400 plus three-pointers is a lot. It's a lot.
6'10".
Yeah, you think of this.
Durant.
There you go. I was going to say, you're forgetting this guy that is tall.
Yes, he is tall.
You can get these other 3 guys. None of them play in the league anymore, but, that's not true. One guy, he's on a team. He still plays.
He's on.
Yeah.
So he doesn't play very much.
No, not very much, but he's out there. We mentioned him. I mentioned, man, he is really bad defensively, but he can still throw a great pass.
Joe Ingles? No, he's too short.
No, too short.
Too short.
Damn.
LeBron is too short. Can still
some
throw
teams.
a great pass. Al Horford?
No, it's not Al Horford. He must be close.
He's not 6'10", I don't know.
I'm okay. Yeah, this guy is 6'10". See, I don't think of this guy as 6'10".
Not Brooke Lopez?
No.
Is that on there? No.
I definitely think of him.
It took
6'10".
a while to get to shooting threes.
This guy's known as rebounding championship. Outlet passes.
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love, 6'10".
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't think of him as 6'10".
I know.
Yeah,
He's, at least he is on Basketball Reference. And then 2 more guys. Come on. Okay, the other guy I never thought is 6'10", because I thought he was like 6'7", because he was a pure 3-point shooter. International guy.
Hito?
No, better Hito.
Peja. Yeah.
6'10".
Whoa, that's a lot of threes.
He's a big boy. And then final one, teams he played for, you'll get it right away. Seattle and Orlando.
Rashard Lewis.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Good stuff.
Durant, Dirk, Rashard Lewis,
good
Peja,
stat.
Kevin Love, and then Gallinari right there.
Yeah. You don't think of Rashard Lewis as being 6'10" either.
See, I think of him being taller than Peja and Kevin Love, oddly. I don't know if that makes any sense.
He was a lot skinnier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He read as taller.
Yeah. Kevin Love, you think is smaller because he was like squat, like a big boy when he first got in the
I
league.
think it's kind of
And
listed a
Peja,
little
it just
high, though.
blows my mind that he was 6'10".
Yeah.
Because he moved really good. Like he was pretty quick.
He was sweet.
Love it of the night, unsullied by sponsorship. I can't even talk anymore. Unsullied by sponsorship since November.
True.
You want to sponsor Woboy? Get at me. Nominees, a lot of big games. Jaylen Brown, SGA, Anthony Edwards. Those are 3 All-Stars. But nah, let's give it to Knicks forward Nickeil Bridges. Because he hit a bunch of threes. And he sort of got the Knicks back in the game at the end. This guy was on fire. Heat checks galore, but 35 points for Bridges in the loss. 8 3-pointers made on 12 attempts at 6 boards. He had 3 assists, 2 steals, 0 turnovers too in 34 minutes for Bridges as he screams there.
Yeah, he was feeling it all night. As soon as he touched the ball, it was going up. Nice.
Pick him tonight, Tess. I was going to say, I just saw the game here, man. I was going to go down see Chris Paul. Say my goodbyes to Chris Paul. Now I can't.
Nah, he's probably not here.
Oh, he should do like, that would be a wrestling move to show up in the stands.
Yeah.
I mean, buy a ticket, just sit courtside. Do it.
It is a Outcast giveaway tonight.
Saw that.
I don't know if they're I can't tell if they're dolls or like a little
saw that.
figurine. But
Yeah.
they look cool.
Man.
Yeah.
Nothing the Atlanta sports team loves to do more than give away an Outcast giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
How many times have the Braves already done it?
Every season.
Yeah. And people
the
line
Cadillac,
up.
yeah.
No, they'll be
Big
lined up
time.
tonight at
Yep.
the Fortress for this.
Yeah, it's a little stuffed animal thingy, sort of.
looks like it,
Because
yeah.
the Hawks, exactly,
Yeah.
they do the little stuffy thing.
Okay.
Yeah, the kids, they like that.
I think
I
the
had-
adults like it too. It's the weird part to me.
I had to go with that game. Atlanta hosting the Clippers right when they let go of Chris Paul. I had to. I kept checking that FanDuel line. Is it moving because of this Clippers friction? It has. It's dropped to 2.5, even though we got it at 3.5.
Oh, you get that point to play with.
Yeah, I'm being a wild man, and I'm taking the Clippers. It feels like the Clippers are playing for their season almost. How dire things are. They just got spanked by the Miami Heat, but James Harden only played 20 minutes in that game, so he's going to be super fresh for this one. Hopefully, he didn't go out and party.
Oh no,
here
I
in
thought
Atlanta.
hopefully he did go out and party. I thought we determined when he goes to the strip clubs. That's his like power. That's his spinach. I got worried because I was like, oh, they've been here. They probably went to Magic City last night.
They were here.
Oh, he's gonna cook tonight.
Wow. I mean, a Miami, Atlanta, 2 consecutive games. That's a Harden's masterpiece.
Yeah, it is.
Career high incoming.
How much money did James Harden just drop in the last, 3 nights?
Yeah, and
Gotta be insane.
He's having like his best week ever. He's like, party all week. Get Chris Paul out of here.
Chris Paul was probably at the strip club with him
Yeah.
at 2:40 in the morning.
That's
Or he
what-
said, don't come.
yeah.
That was the tension. Chris Paul said, I don't think you should go tonight. He said, I'm going tonight. Check the stats.
Wow.
Get him out of here.
That feels right. That's where the friction is. That caused him to
Magic
leave.
City friction.
Anyway, I'm the only one taking the Clippers and getting those 3 little points.
fool.
Yeah, it's a crazy move.
I'm kidding.
It is a crazy move. They could literally lose by 20 against this Atlanta Hawks team that's balling. But you guys both have the Atlanta Hawks to win by 4 or more, and that's why the song ended now
Yeah, it was
at a
perfect.
perfect time.
Okay. Go Hawks.
Because we talked along about James Harden being in an adult entertainment establishment.
Okay. That's one of the games on tonight. Spurs Magic is another pretty good one. I guess NBA TV has Heat Mavericks tonight. A lot of early games tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of starts at 7 Eastern, and the latest one 8:30. That NBA TV game. So that's interesting. All right, we'll call it there. Longer show for us, but that's because we had Pierre on from Numbers on the Board, from Teed Up, a great guest. Again, hit the like button, subscribe, do it for Pierre. Appreciate him jumping on. Thank you for joining us. We will see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, I'm trying to figure out why there's so many early games in the NBA, because quite often they take into account all the other sports going on. Nope.
There's no games on ESPN tonight, too, which is odd.
Is it somehow cup related?
There is a weird schedule here the next little bit
Yeah.
because of how they had to wait to see who makes
Who's
it.
playing
to
who.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
there is. It's almost like teams like get an odd little break here, people were saying. Hollinger was writing about this. In
Yeah.
fact, people were like saying like there's too many games early on in the season. Maybe that's part of the injuries because of all the cup scheduling. But then this is like the first like everybody can take a breath here in like the coming weeks here before the Christmas break.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Like the farthest west games are Houston and Dallas, which I assume are Central Time.
Very strange. Very strange. Anyway, we'll be here to talk about them.
Schedule guys over here.
Yeah,
we
it's,
love this.
it's not the Washington
Scatheads.
Capitals San Jose Sharks game. It's a late one, but it's not that one. It's not Atalanta. That's that soccer team with the, or that's Atalanta, that weird soccer team.
talking
You know that
about right
weird
now?
soccer team?
There's an extra A in
Yeah, I
there.
know,
Yeah.
but why?
I'm just looking at the late.
You think the
late
NBA is scared of Atalanta?
Atalanta.
Hey man,
Jesus,
they're in
we're washed if
they're
they are.
12th in Serie A right now. No, they're not that good.
The MLS Cup Final's coming up. It's right around the corner.
Is it
I don't know
in
when it is.
Atlanta?
No, it's
they have a
Messi.
down
Messi's
year.
in it for sure.
Oh.
I think it's Vancouver. I think it's Whitecaps, Miami.
Yeah, you can't say a team name.
Isn't it FC?
The FCs, yeah.
I call them the Messies, baby.
The Messies.
The pink team. All right.
Nice jerseys.
Embrace the day, people.